Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon and another Kickstarter preview. This time we'll be following up this Kickstarter preview with a special playthrough of Everdell, including the Spirecrest and Pearlbrook expansions, which I've never tried before. The developers don't recommend it, so we're going to give it a shot. We'll see if it's too hard. But what we are looking at right now is the announcement from Starling Games, or the landing page, of their final two expansions. So this is going to round out the Everdell collection, finish it off. There's actually two expansions included in this Kickstarter. You can pledge for each one individually, both of them together, or what they're offering is an all-in-one giant storage box, or if you are completely new to Everdell, you can join everything, get it in the big box, and it's called the Complete Collection, which we're looking at over here. So this thing is already taken off. It's less than a week in at the time of this recording, and it's already at $2.25 million, 15,000 backers, and still 11 days to go. So that number is going to jump up. They haven't really been having big stretch goals like Simon does, but I feel like something's coming. I think that they are just kind of shocked by how popular it's been. This is certainly new that every copy of a game they sell, they're going to donate a game to Toys for Tots, which is just amazing in my opinion. But let's take a look at what these two new expansions are offering. So Newleaf is going to round out the fourth side of the board. It's going to, let's see if there we go. Here's a picture of it. So Spirecrest normally goes here at the bottom, Pearlbrook goes here on the left side, and Belfair usually sits up at the top. You have to remove the tree, obviously, but if you play with all of them, it literally becomes probably one of the biggest board setups I know of in a board game. So it brings in this train station, which I'd have to look back at Belfair to see if it even had like a train tracks running through it up here. That's interesting. Or maybe a tunnel. But obviously there's 4 new sets of meeples, which are going to include the rabbits for Spirecrest and the frogs for Pearlbrook, snails, bees, bats, and cats. So they're definitely pushing the envelope here of meeples they can offer. Also, it's going to include player powers for those guys. A whole bunch of new critter cards and construction cards, which is really nice, because we got some with Pearlbrook. We didn't really get any with Spirecrest, I don't remember getting any. And then they have these visitor cards, which are unique to the train station, but can be picked up. And it's kind of weird how you get to go about choosing these, and we'll look more into those here in a second. But more special events, more forest cards. There are these ticket tiles. And then the train tiles, the train card tiles are actually going to provide you resources when you play either a visitor card or a critter card who is waiting at the train station. So these 3 cards right here are critter and construction cards and can be played off of this. This is like an extension of the meadow. But when you play one of these, you're going to get whatever is adjacent to them in the train car. Same thing over here. I haven't quite figured out what the difference between a visitor card is and a normal critter card, but they are adding to the basic events. So if you don't play with Pearlbrook and the special monuments, you can create new special events. There are these golden occupy tokens and reservation tokens and 6-point coin tokens. Mistwood is probably what I'm most excited about. This one actually kind of takes the concept of Rugwort, and the entire expansion for Mistwood is not going to have a board necessarily. I think there's a couple little small boards you set off to the side. But what Mistwood is, and here is Nightweave, the meeple, which it doesn't say, it says Big Critter Meeple. I don't think that this is going to be an option in Spirecrest. I think she is your nemesis in the game. So she comes with these layer boards for her minions. Where are we? All the way down here you can see she's got Nightweave cards, activity cards, personality cards, plot cards, and plan cards. So a lot more in-depth AI for Mistwood. but I think a lot of people are looking for that. Rugwort was very simple to implement, but could be very punishing, especially if you just didn't see the right cards to, like, say, buy up the special events or the monuments and things like that. So, but here, like, we're talking pigs, butterflies, spiders, and stoats. So very interesting meeples added to it. And then the rest of this is pretty much stuff to make Nightweave work. And it turns Everdell into a cooperative game or beefs up the solo experience. So very excited about Mistwood. You can also see that they're adding what will probably be eventually sold as like promo packs. So more Legends pack, Corrin Evertail cards, new farm cards, things like that. So, and then here we have the big old box of storage. You can get your entire collection in this. It'll send in this. You won't get all the individual boxes, or you can just buy the empty box. They say that the sleeve is just to delineate between whether you're buying just the storage box or the complete collection, and you're just supposed to recycle it. So here is just a little image of it all going back into the box. Again, I'm pretty sure this is all very early on in the development phase, so I would presume that none of this is final. Final version subject to updates, there it says at the bottom right there. But this kind of gives you a general idea. It seems like they have got it figured out. What I'm hoping is that the meeples aren't just dumped into the top in the end like this. At least there's like a cover for the tray. You'll see here in a minute after they, here we go. Here's one of the trays going in, and they're just going to dump like the resources in. I'm hoping there is some kind of cover that's going to keep them from just falling out. Also, I'd really like to know, because you'll see down here they're going to offer some other stuff. Here's basically what it says comes in the complete collection, which is basically everything. This is a great shot of what the board, if you played with all 4 expansions, would look like all set up. And so I guess it does not show that the train station is connecting perfectly with Belfair, which is a little disappointing, because I always thought that Pearlbrook and Spirecrest, no, I guess they didn't really match up either. So, oh well. But basically, this is just everything in Everdell. So obviously, you're going to get it all. It's all essentially the collector's edition stuff as well. So, here's a little bit more about the train station. So face-up critter and construction cards on the station board work like meadow cards. Whenever you play a card from the station, you also gain the reward listed on the train card tile beside the card. Okay, and then there's visitors. To gain a visitor card on your turn, place a worker on the station. The station is a shared location. Choose one face-up visitor and discard it face down. Reveal one new visitor and choose one of the 2 face-up visitor cards to take. Place by your city. So again, I'm not really sure how the visitors work. But then there's the null here, which gives you basically an additional way to discard, which is really nice, because you really didn't have that before unless you went to that one location. And here's some more about Nightweave's turn. The Nightweave expansion as part of Mistwood. If you want to read up on this, but essentially there's all those cards, and you're going to flip over the cards, and they're going to give you more direction for the AI to actually collect resources and pick specific cards and play more like an actual person. I will be putting the link to this Kickstarter in the description below if you can't find it. But this is what I wanted to talk about. I'm wondering, because these are really nice vessels for your resources, very thematic. Is there going to be a place to store these in the big old box of storage? Because for me, that's that decision right there is whether or not I would purchase these. Because I don't want to have these sitting in a separate box somewhere else that takes up space on my shelf. So, very interesting question. They're also offering a kind of a art book, I guess you could say, World and Art of Everdell, but there is some lore in there, includes some art prints. Really nice if you're super into the theme. This could be a nice gift for somebody. There's a lot of reviews here.
Tale of the Standing Stones, as told by Poe, the legendary storyteller.
Long ago and far...
Okay, I'm not sure how that happened, but... All right. Unfortunately, none of the previews I've seen, even the one from Tantrum House, they had not received the train board yet, or all of the official stuff in the mail. It had gotten lost in the mail, so I've yet to see anything that's not just like, these are basically just big art prints of everything, and they've got some cards. I want to really see the board and the big storage box, but that may be not available. So here are all the different pledge levels. But anyways, I wanted to show this off because Everdell is one of my top 10 games easily. It's an excellent solo game. It's a really fun worker placement / tableau building game. You're working on creating your city, so you're building up your tableau, and it's amazing how small your turn or the round feels in the very first round, but by the fourth round you're powering off all these combos, and you really just get chugging along, and it's a great engine builder, I guess you could say. But it is a worker placement with really fun meeples, really great artwork, and it's a great tableau builder. So if you're into any of that stuff and you have never checked out Everdell before, continue watching, because I'll give you a sample of what it's like to play Everdell, especially solo. So without further ado, let's give solo against Rugwort with the Pearlbrook and Spirecrest expansion a try. Here we have the board set up with the Pearlbrook expansion and the Spirecrest expansion. It is nearly impossible to get everything into the camera all at once. So for right now, I'm just going to focus on the main board and the Pearlbrook board, because I have never filmed Pearlbrook before. So I just want to explain the rules of Pearlbrook briefly, so you have an understanding of that. I'll briefly cover the rules of Spirecrest when we move down there, but you actually really don't mess with Spirecrest until you change seasons, which is kind of nice. You just kind of focus on what's up here, and and then you can completely focus on the Spirecrest board for just a short period of time, and then you move back up here. But what happens with Pearlbrook, for those of you who are completely unfamiliar with this game, essentially this is a worker placement / tableau city building game. You're trying to build this little town, which is, you're going to be your tableau of cards that you're going to be placing out throughout the end of the game. I'm going to be placing mine into this white tray over here. You use your critters to gain the necessary resources to then pay for or play cards either out of your hand or out of the meadow here. This meadow area is a shared spot for cards. And as you do that, you're going to be starting to create combos and, activate powers of, individuals, or, certain locations can bring in other people for free. For example, this bridge, if I play the bridge, I can bring in the messenger for free. So essentially you just keep doing that, and you're working your way towards, obviously victory points at the end of the game, which are the big numbers in yellow. There's also these various special events at the top that you can work towards, or as part of the Pearlbrook expansion, you have now these unique monuments that you can build in place of the kind of standard events that were in the game. Those have been covered up, and now you can pay resources to build these unique monuments in your city, which are worth quite big victory points. But what Pearlbrook does is they adds the monuments, first of all, but it also adds this kind of bay area, or the river, I guess you could say, where you can send your toad worker into these locations. So you can see that these locations over here have the toad symbol on them as opposed to the paw. Your toad can only go there, and only your toad can go there. So your toad can't be sent out to collect resources. He's got to stay near the river. He's got to stay wet. But the two main actions he can do are to go up here to the shoal and pay 2 resources, discard 2 cards to gain a pearl. Pearls are going to be needed to build the monuments. They're also going to be needed to build or play these adornment cards. So you can see these adornment cards are going to give you an instant bonus, which is on the top of the line, and then on the bottom of the line here is additional end game scoring. These do not count towards your city limit of 15, but you can see almost all of them have a cost of 1 pearl to play. So you can use your frog to gain pearls as a resource, or if you meet these requirements, so these are very similar to what these standard events used to be. So if you have 2 of whatever type of building except for 3 of the standard buildings, you can send your toad there, and then you can flip over this card. You get the pearl on top if you're the first person to go there, so that's another way to get a pearl kind of for free. But then these cards are going to represent locations or people you can interact with to gain resources, benefits, things like that. This becomes a location that anybody then can visit on future turns. And that's pretty much it. The Pearlbrook expansion added cards and events and locations and things like that all into the game. But what is, something to consider about Pearlbrook is that these monuments are very, very resource heavy. They cost a lot of resources to gain them and add them to your town. Also, just simply gaining pearls is difficult and things like that. So that's why they have always advised you, as the designers of the game, to not play with Pearlbrook and Spirecrest at the same time. But I'm going to attempt that today. This is actually the first time I've ever attempted to play them together and combine them up. So I have taken a few liberties in setup to help me overcome the obstacles of the fact that Spirecrest, especially with the weather cards, are going to limit my resource collection. They make it harder. And also, part of Spirecrest is gaining these adventure tokens here that at the end of the game you're going to have to pay resources to continue on your adventure, your expedition. So again, resource heavy. I'm adding 2 resource heavy expansions into the game, which is already a very tight game when you're playing solo against Rugwort, because he's automatically blocking spaces and things like that. So in order to kind of balance out the fact that the monuments, which are endgame scoring, cost a lot of resources, and the expeditions at the end of the game cost a lot of resources, and Rugwort is going to be gaining them for free, I have done a few things during setup. One is I've given myself 1 of each type of resource. This is not part of the game, standard game rules. This is just from reading other people's thoughts on BGG, listening to what other people have done, these are just kind of my own thoughts on how we might make the game a little bit more doable for me. And this is be the first time I'm trying this out, so this may fail epically. We may fail to Rugwort epically, but we're going to give it a shot. The other thing I've done is that I have drawn my hand of cards based on me being the 4th player. I've drawn a full hand of cards, so I'm actually starting with 8 cards and 1 of each resource as part of setup. I also have dealt myself 3 adornment cards. So you can see them here. I have Key to the City, Tiara, and a Compass. Now, I will only allow myself to play 2 of them, but this gives me a little bit of leeway into, if one of these is completely undoable for me in solo just because of the direction the game is going, it would make it very hard on me not getting these out and not getting these additional bonus points. So I'm still only going to allow myself to play 2, but I've given myself the choice of 3. I always thought it odd that they didn't do something like that when you're setting up the game, passing out 3 to people and say, all right, keep 2, or pass out 2 and keep 1, whatever it may be, or pass out 2, you can play 1 throughout the game. So I've just kind of given myself a choice. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be playing with one of the player powers that would normally come as part of the Belfair expansion, and they've also, in the 2 new expansions that we just covered, they've included more player powers. But since I am playing as the squirrels, I believe these are the squirrels, or maybe these are the foxes. I don't know, at first I thought these were the squirrels, but I'm the orange meeples. Maybe they are the foxes. Well, I'm going to be playing as the squirrels player power, which is going to give me an additional wood anytime I collect resources. I have to double check. Anytime I collect a wooden resource, I get an additional wood, and I can spend 2 wood as kind of a wild resource when I'm constructing buildings. So it doesn't count for berries, it only counts in construction, but I could spend, say, 4 wood here to build the bridge, 2 normal wood, and then 2 wood to equal the 1 stone. So essentially I have just included that one module from the Belfair expansion, which all of these are various modules. You could play Pearlbrook with just these locations and not include the monuments. You could play Spirecrest without the weather module to make things a little easier, or without the endgame expeditions. So again, all of these are modular, but I'm trying to add in as much content from my collection of Everdell as I can. So with all that being said, the setup for the solo game, other than what I have already done. Oh, and I added a 4th forest location. Normally you would only put in 3, but again, since resources are going to be tight and hard to come by in this game, or I'm going to be needing a lot of them, I gave myself a 4th location. So again, I know that that's not part of the normal setup. I did that on purpose. Okay, so I've gone ahead and covered up the 2 first locations that Rugwort is going to cancel out, and the only other thing I need to do for Pearlbrook solo, which we have not discussed before, is roll this out, and 6 here is going to be the 3rd location down. So Rugwort actually, right off the bat, gets to claim this location without having anything in his city or anything like that. He has come and he's blocking that location. So here you can see, just as an example, Snout the Explorer, I can go to that location, reveal and discard 2 of those type of critters from your hand to gain 1 victory point and 1 pearl. So that may come in handy, because hopefully with starting with 8 cards, I'll have a decent amount of cards to be able to spend throughout the game and discard. So other than that, I think we are ready to go. So again, when playing solo against Rugwort, anytime other than him blocking certain spaces and over here activating Pearlbrook and stealing the pearls out from under me, basically the only time he does anything is anytime I play a card, whether it's from my hand or out of the meadow, he will also play a card out of the meadow. And that's what this 8-sided die is for. I simply roll it, and whatever number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 comes up, he gets that card. Since there are no standard events to go for, it honestly doesn't even matter which card he claims. It's just we're going to count them up at the end of the game. So, and then when we do Spirecrest, I'll explain how he handles inclusion and Spirecrest when we get to that part of the game. Okay, so just strategy-wise, there's a couple things I want to point out, and this is what I'm going to be kind of going for as we start the game here, personally. The bridge and the messenger are combined, so if I can get to the bridge first and the messenger not disappear, I can actually get this out and then get this guy for free. Again, as soon as I play the bridge out of the meadow, he could steal the messenger from me. It's going to be random. The other card out of the meadow that I'm looking towards is the cemetery, because I have the Undertaker and also the Palace, which could be very hard. I have the Queen, who is, both of them are very expensive, but to get the Palace, obviously I would play the Queen for free. But that's probably going to be the 3rd thing I go towards, simply because of the resource cost. Come summer, this messenger is going to be covered up by Rugwort. He's going to cover up this space during the spring, and then summer, and then autumn he's going to cover up these 2. So I have some time to get to the palace if he doesn't take it out from under me. I have lots of time to get to the cemetery, but my focus here is going to be going to the bridge first. So let's think about what I want to do here. Unfortunately, the best location for me to go as the squirrel would be up here to gain 3 3 logs, and that would mean I would get a 4th based on my player power. But so I need some logs to be able to build. I need at least 1 log to build the bridge. I could, however, discard some cards. So I think I'm going to go here because I have plenty of extra cards. So I actually have 2 fairies, Wander, Resin Refinery. I don't know if I want to necessarily give up all of the rest of these cards, but is there any place else I can go? I guess I'm going to have to discard some cards, though, to go anywhere that's going to draw cards. What else do I need? I need 2 for the cemetery. Yeah, so there's not a spot that's going to give me 2 stone. So let's try and go here. That way I can get 2 stone and a wood. And then I'm going to get an extra wood for going there. So I need to discard 3 cards. I'll just decide on 3. I'm going to discard Fairy out of my hand. And you know what, let's turn on some additional light here. Hopefully that'll help. Okay. I'm going to discard Fairy out of my hand. And I guess we're going to discard Wander out of my hand. And I'll turn these sideways so I don't get confused. And Chip Sweep out of my hand. Alright. So, I guess I had to go here first. Discard up to 3 cards and gain 1 for each. So 2 stone and 2 wood. The extra wood comes from my special player power. Okay, since I haven't played a card, I just get to go again. And so I think I will go ahead and pay for the bridge. Alright, so the bridge is, I forget all the keywords here, but bridge isn't going to activate until I play another card. Increase your hand size by 1 for every pearl you have. Also draw 2 every time you gain a pearl. Okay, so the bridge helps me out when I gain pearls. Alright, so I need to replace this here. And now Rugwort gets to go. Anything but a, we don't want a 2, 3, or 8. 4, okay, I'm okay with that. Alright, so he gets a husband. And we will replenish. Ooh, the pirate ship. Okay. Alright, so obviously my next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play the messenger for free. So anytime you see the satchel symbol, that means you get to do this power. May share a space with a construction. When visiting a river destination, this messenger is considered the same color as the shared construction. Common critter. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna have to look up to see what this exactly means. I'm not 100% sure, but otherwise I'm going to draw a card and gain a victory point. So I'm also gonna kind of stack these guys like this because I don't really need the messenger again. All right. So there's a VP. I'll keep those down here, and I get to draw a card. Oh, and of course we got the farm after just having lost the husband, but that's okay. So we'll go like this, the university, which I don't really need. Oh, I forgot to look at what I need up here. So this one requires the fairy ferret and the twig barge, which the toad would go on the twig barge. Here I need the doctor or the postal pigeon. Here I need the fairy and the husband, which I have the fairy and I just lost the husband, but there's more in the deck. And here I need the courthouse and the ranger. So always good to keep an eye on those when playing against Rugwort. So I gained another card. He gets, oh, he's taking the cemetery from me. It's like he knew. Okay. We might see another cemetery come out, but maybe not. Alright, another farm, which I absolutely don't need. And so now I need to decide where I want to go with the rest of my locations. So I do need the ferry eventually, which is pretty handy because the ferry allows you to copy any revealed river destination. So I actually have not used my toad yet, and so I could put this down and use my toad here to make use of Snout the Explorer. But I don't have two of those. Reveal and discard. I could discard the queen, but I'm not quite ready to give up on the queen yet. So yeah, I think we're going to be... I don't need my 2 stone anymore because he stole the cemetery from me. So, and I do have 2 cards I could probably discard. I could just give up on the Undertaker. And the farm. Well, no, because I could use the husband, so... The Undertaker and the shopkeeper, maybe? Alright. So, let's think about what we could go after. We could start kind of working towards going after the palace. I'm definitely going to need more resin, and I'm part of the way there for stone and my berry. So let's go here. I'm going to get... Oh no, I want to go here. 2 resin and a twig. And which actually give me 2 twigs. Okay, so I've got that. I've got the 3 resin. I just need 1 more stone, but I'm about to have to discard. Okay. All right. So the last thing I'm going to do is send my... Yeah, because that's... Do I have what it would take? Because what Rugwort's going to do is he's going to move down here next. As soon as we change seasons, so he's going to steal that pearl and activate this location. Unless I can get another thing down. Which the only one in my hand is the Undertaker. Which would require another berry on my part. I don't see anything out here I could spend. So for him, pearls, he's just going to hold on to them until the end of the game and spend them out to buy as many monuments as possible, which could be very dangerous, because I doubt I will be able to get maybe but 1 if I'm lucky. So, gosh. Is it worth it to give up 2 wood and 1 berry just to play the Undertaker, discard 3 cards from the meadow, replenish, then draw 1 card from the meadow? That would allow me to gain the palace. So maybe that's, and then I won't have to worry about Rugwort stealing it from me. So maybe we will do that. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and pay for the Undertaker. So I will pay using 2 wood and a berry. Oh no, this is not a construction. So I don't have what it takes. So I don't think there's any way I can do this. Okay. So we will use our frog to go up here. I will discard 2 cards. I will give up on the Undertaker. And 2 resources. I will spend 1 and 1. Do it this way. That, and I will gain a pearl. Okay. So at this point, I am going to be moving seasons, so this is when I will, I don't have any green powers to activate. I don't have any green powers to activate in my city. So he's going to move here. I'm going to get my people back. He's going to gain this. He flips this over, which is now a location. Pay a victory point and gain a pebble to draw 4 cards and gain a pearl. That's an interesting location. Okay, so he's blocking that space now. He now moves this guy here, this guy to, right, the 2 resin space. Yes, the 2 resin location, and he's blocking this one. Okay, I gained my worker, and that is all we need to do except for moving down to Spirecrest. So here is the Spirecrest portion of the board, and before we go any further, I just realized that in talking about the setup and Pearlbrook and how to play, I completely forgot to flip over a weather card and deal with this weather card as part of the winter. So this one is actually the blizzard. It says whenever you gain a resource from a forest location, you gain 1 less. So I actually went to 2 forest locations, the 2 over here on this side of the board. So I'm actually going to return the 2 extra wood I got from going to those 2 locations. So I've essentially made up for the fact that I am attempting to play with the weather, and we'll try and remember it here the next time. So just a super quick kind of overview of Spirecrest. This is essentially an expedition that your little rabbit meeple is going on, and they are gathering these scrolls that they're going to use at the end of the game. So these represent victory points that you have the opportunity to gain, but resources that you have to spend to move on to that portion. And then you'll see there are 2 more chances for us to gain scrolls, but this is the first one we're going to have to meet. If we can't pay whatever resources we claim here, we won't even be able to attempt these other 2. But the AI, Rugwort, is going to get, first of all, he's going to get whatever we don't choose. So if I choose this one, I'm giving him an extra point at the end of the game, which is tricky because I can easily get 3 wood, but I may also be spending wood in place of other ones, so I may not want to save up my wood. I may want to spend it. So I guess I need to go for berries, which is tough, but I think that there's probably a way that I can make sure I have berries in the end. So that's the first thing you're going to do, is decide on which one of these tokens you want. If you're playing multiplayer, you simply make your choice, push your person a little further, and then when other people make their way through, they will make their choice. And there's usually always 1 more per player, so there's only 2 now. So I am going to take this, and I've slotted my thing over here, so you can't really see it, but it's just going to sit over there, and I'll make my line. And then Rugwort's is way over here, and so he just is going to automatically gain this at the end of the game. So I will march my person around the path here, and then we get to this area where we have some additional cards that we can gain that are hopefully going to be beneficial to us. So I am just going to simply draw the top 3. Normally you're supposed to lay them out here along the bottom of the board, where you can see this spot is free to claim. This spot I have to discard a card and a resource, and this spot is 2 cards and a resource, right? Hold on, let me just double check, and it's not 2 cards or a resource. The first card in the row is free. To play the second card, you must either discard a card from your hand or play 1 of any resource. Okay, so it's either or. Alright, so I have drawn these off the top of the deck, and essentially I'm going to lay them out how we pick them up. I don't really know where to put them though, so I guess I'll just kind of lay them out gently. Alright, we have Stubblehoof, which is a big critter. We have the Mistrise Trail,
And then we have the Sunblaze Trail. So these are both simply end game scoring. Pure and simple if we meet the criteria. Stubblehoof here says at the start of the prepare season you may choose to leave Stubblehoof where he is and activate that location. Also draw 1 card and gain 1 berry. So Stubblehoof is actually a person I'm going to put out, and he's going to become a worker. I'm actually going to saddle, he's going to replace a worker because a worker has to go with him, and we'll saddle a worker onto him. But essentially means that if I go there, I don't really know how Stubblehoof works with the AI, because if I go and put him where the AI is going to be next, am I going to block the AI? That's an excellent question. So I've already got one of these. I don't have any of these. I really don't have a card though. I guess I could give up the shipwright. This one is almost too good to pass up though, because I'm going to be getting resources from it. I get a card and a berry. So I think we're going to take Stubblehoof because he's free. So let's find his people here. So here is Stubblehoof. He's going to be joining our party. A lot of people think that you ride them around on the path here, but no, they actually come back to your village, and your workers will make use of them. So let's give him a little saddle here, and one of my worker meeples will slide in. Well, they don't want to ride him very well. Okay, come on now. There we go. All right. So our fox / squirrel is set to go. All right. So since we have chosen this card, and I'll just put this, somewhere. These two just go away. Normally these would go to the bottom, but since I'm the only person playing, this stack is essentially done. We're done with that stack. All Rugwort gets out of this is 3 money or 3 victory points, because I chose this slot. If I had chosen this slot, I would have given him 2, and if I would have purchased the most expensive card, I would have given him 1. So I actually gave him more VP towards the end of the game, because I picked the free card. So now that we have moved along and gotten to this point, we need to flip over our spring weather card. So now this says tornado. You may not play any card from the meadow. What? Okay, that is atrocious. And then we get to flip these over too. Really, I guess just so you can see them ahead, maybe do some way in advance planning. But anyways, the first person that would get to this point would flip over the next ones on the path, but we don't claim them yet. So next round we will claim here, and flip over this one for the summer. Okay, but that's essentially Spirecrest. You can see for the most part down here, this is certainly giving you something. This is taking away something, and this is giving you something to go towards for at the end of the game, but it's very resource heavy, which is in direct, contrast, I guess you could say, to being able to get the monuments that are part of the Pearlbrook expansion. So I think this is why the designers really kind of shy away from you playing with these two together, but honestly it's a little hard not to play with all the expansions together. So we are getting ready to start the spring phase here, and so I need to decide where I want to go. I cannot spend out of the meadow, so I'm hoping this stays put, because then at the end of summer I can draw it into my hand and then I'm free and clear. So I think this is what we're going to do first. I need a few more cards too, so we're going to go up here and take 3 wood because of our special power and draw a card. And we've got the chapel, which is useless to us, but that's fine. We did need to some cards to be able to discard. All right, And then I think this is the only card I may risk to play this time. So I'm going to play the fairy, paying the 2 and 2 regular. So 2 and 2. Alright, and so Rugwort gets to steal something out of the middle here, and he's taking the university, which is fine. What is he giving back? See, unfortunately, I could use the harbor because the shipwright could go in there for free, but I can't play that card, and next turn one of those geckos is going to go right there and block it. So that harbor is basically dead to me, which is unfortunate. Alright, so I think the next thing we're going to do is actually spend our frog to go over to here, and he's going to use the fairy to take an action to go into a space over here that is already used up, and I'm going to go, the only one, to the Great Hall. So I'm going to pay a coin, single coin and a stone to dive down to the Great Hall, and I get to gain a pearl and get to draw 4 cards, which 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we needed the twig barge, that's good. We needed the husband, alright. We don't need a messenger. We don't need a historian. He goes with the clock tower, which we don't need either. So, okay. So we have a plan now. So now that we have taken that action, we need to. Where is my farm? Here it is. Okay. We need to focus on getting the farm. So, I have my 1 resin. I need some twigs. So the question is, do I go here and get 2 resin and 2 twigs, knowing that I'm going to need some resin in the future? That's probably the best bet. The twig barge is also going to be necessary to have some wood. So yeah, I think we're going to save Stubblehoof. We're going to go there, gain 2 resin and 2 twigs because of my special power. Alright, so nothing else is happening with Rugwort. I am now going to build my farm, which is going to gain me a berry. And I have to spend 2 wood and a resin. Alright, so I played a card. Rugwort is taking the farm, which is perfectly fine. The judge. Okay, I don't need the judge, but I need the courthouse. So we may pick him up later. And then I am going to play the husband for free. See, I can go up and get the thing, but I think taking Stubblehoof up there is completely pointless. So, alright, so I'm going to play the husband for free. Alright, so I only get to gain 1 if paired with my wife. So, alright, but I have 2 now. I need a 3rd to be able to go over there, but I've already spent my frog. So, okay. Looking at my adornments here to see if I want to spend any of those. Okay, so I played a card. 6 is the Barge Toad. Oh, I was going to use the Barge Toad later. But that's fine, I don't need the Barge Toad. You would just spend a free play. So, alright, there's the teacher. You may reactivate 2 in your city, which I only have 1, so that's not that great. Gain 1 for each. No, I don't have any of that. Gain 2. Also draw 1 for every construction in your city. Now I actually have 3 constructions in my city. So this one might not be too bad to play. That would allow me to go ahead and
When achieved, you may search through the deck for a wife card and play it for free. Or you may gain... Okay. Very interesting. Alright, do I want to hold on to that? I don't need the chapel. I don't need the shipwright. I need this, and I don't need this one. But I actually don't need... this one either. So, but I can hold on to this one. I only need 2 of my cards, so... Alright, so this is what's going to happen. Knowing that I am going to want to build the palace very soon, I'm going to go here with Stubblehoof. Now, Stubblehoof is going to... I'm going to discard these 3 cards, because I don't really need any of them. And what 3 things do I need? I'm going to need 1 resin. Alright, I need to claim at least 1 wood so I can claim a second one. So that's 2 out of the 3. And, ooh, I'm definitely going to need some stones. So, there we go. That's my 3rd one. So, the only thing I'm going to be lacking is stones. 3 stones. Okay, but I could use wood to get my stones, but I would need 4 wood. Okay. Okay. So maybe it's time to do that. Maybe it is time to play this. You know, I'm saving up for one of those things up there, but also, do I want to go ahead? No. See, I could play this to get my frog out there, but I've already used my frog, so the AI is going to get that one. I will be able to, next round though, take this one to get that pearl for free. So if I use 1 pearl on key to the city, then I will be able to at least get one of the 2 smaller ones. Okay. Alright, I think I am done. Okay. At the start of Prepare for Season, you may choose to leave Stubblehoof where he is and activate that location. Also, draw 1 and gain 1. So, we are going to... well, first, let's do all this stuff up here. So, I'm going to give him his worker meeple. I get 1 of mine. I get to draw 2 out of the meadow. So this one, and I believe I get to refill right now. Mine, I could go ahead and take the mine. I don't need the mine though. Do I take the judge? Courthouse, ranger. Teacher, I would love to take the harbor. No, but I got rid of that card, so we will take the judge because we're hoping to see the courthouse. So those are the 2 cards I took. Storehouse, I don't need that. So I'll add these to my hand. And now at this point, this moves over, blocks this one, and this is the big question. What happens there? So I need to figure out some clarification on that, and then we'll move down and take care of Spirecrest. Actually, we'll go ahead and do this too. So he will flip this over, gain that pearl, and he's done the other location, which is pay 1 coin and 1 wood to draw 2 and gain a pearl. Okay, I've got the wood, I don't have the coins. So, alright. So the official ruling on Stubblehoof is that he gets to stay put and Rugwort just kind of joins him in that location. So I did go ahead and activate that location. Since I'm leaving it there, it's a little weird. I guess you go ahead and activate it now. I guess I don't know. So I went ahead and activated it. I also realized that I was not activating the bridge location, which was allowing me to draw 2 cards each time I gained a pearl. So I also made up for missing that.
have a good handful of cards now, and so we are going to continue on to our journey here on Spirecrest. So you can see we have two choices here, and this one again, unfortunately, is pretty obvious. I can't just give. If I was playing multiplayer, I may have left this one behind, thinking people might not be able to get that, but this is going to have to become a tough choice for me. If I give him this, even if I get this, it's a 4-point swing. If I take this and fail to get it, it's only a 2-point swing, plus or minus what's over here. So I'm going to give this one to Rugwort, try and keep him down, and I will just simply do my best to get that one. Okay, so we're going to venture on, continue on our path here. We will be dealing now with Heat Wave. Every critter costs 1 additional berry to play. That's okay. Most of what the critters I'm playing are actually being invited free based on their construction. So I'm okay with that. Saving up my berries for the end game here. And then we've got 3 more cards. So we've got a location where you can discard 5 cards to gain 8 VP. That seems like a lot. Another big critter, and Stormveil. Now, I've seen this one before. This one is interesting if you are playing with multiplayer because it puts 3 additional cards out, I believe, for the rest of the game. So it increases the meadow size, but there's no rules in solo play, to my knowledge, of Rugwort, because you'd have to have then a 12-sided die instead of an 8-sided die and not count the 12. Anyways, so this card's almost useless. This one seems too expensive. This one should actually come in handy. He can go to a special location, even if it doesn't have a thing. For example, the Palace, which I'm getting ready to play, and I would then get 4 of any wild resource, sending him there. That's probably the best worker placement location I could get. So we're going to be adding another big worker meeple to our set here. So these will go back. Since I went here, I have to give Rugwort 2 coins, and I have to discard a card, which shouldn't be a problem. I've got some extra stuff here, so there we go. And now I get to find the ram. So let's put a saddle on this guy. Alright, so he gets a saddle and one of my workers now. This is honestly the best part of the game, is putting people on these big critters. So I don't know why anybody ever chooses anybody other than the big critter, but that is essentially the end of our Spirecrest phase. So let's move back up and move on to summer. Alright, so there's a lot I want to do here. I've already activated Stubblehoof, so we're good with that. One of the cards I drew was the pirate, and the pirate ship is actually free to take. Now this says move this pirate ship to an empty space in your opponent's city, then gain 1 and 1 per pearl that opponent has to a maximum of 3. What's interesting is, so I'm sending that to the AI, which is fine because, well, he's going to get VP for it. But then does the pirate go with him? Discard up to 4 to draw and reveal an equal number of cards. If total point base value of drawn cards is at least 7, gain 1 pearl. So I think what I'm going to do before that card gets accidentally taken away from me is I am going to go ahead and take the pirate ship since it is free. I don't have to do all this stuff at the bottom. That's completely optional for me. If I don't send a person to that location, then I'm good, and I don't think I will. So we replenish this one. Again, I'm looking for certain cards here. Well, that's interesting. It's a pirate. Okay. So Rugwort gets a card, and he is taking the harbor out from under himself. I always hate it when he claims these cards, because then the card that comes out in its place is permanently blocked, and it's just kind of a slap in the face. Alright, so what I'm actually going to do now is play the pirate for free, and I'm going to play it out of the meadow instead of my hand, A, to see an extra card, but B, keep more cards in my hand to discard for certain other events, like the pirate event here. So we're going to claim the pirate, and again, we are going to discard. We're going to find 4 cards to discard and see if we can't. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3. I need this one. I need this one. All right, so we're losing the judge, but that's fine. I want the pearl. The pearl's more important. So we are discarding these 4 cards. We get to draw 4 more. Now, I think technically this guy goes here first. Ooh, and we do need the ranger. Okay, so 1, 2. Ooh, we're not off to a good start here. 3 and 4. So I don't think we did it. 2, 4, 5. Cemetery killed us. Ranger wouldn't have helped anyways. So unfortunately, here's our new cards. All of these are worthless to me. Yeah. So they'll just be cannon fodder later. But we do want the ranger, which the dungeon is not out and present. So I may just have to pay for him with berries, which means he's going to cost 3 berries. Alright, let's just see what we can do here. Go through some card draw. Do some other stuff. Alright, so I played a card. He is going to play the teacher. Maybe we'll get lucky and the dungeon will come out here. And we've got the barge toad, which is good because we're getting ready to play the barge here in a minute. Alright. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Got lots going on here. So I'm going to play the twig barge. I'm running out of room on my trade there. Okay, so the twig barge is gain 2. I don't think I get my bonus, my worker bonus at this point for that. So I gain 2, but I have to give up. Forgot to pay for it. So there's 1 and 1. Okay, so Rugwort's going to get a card. He's taking the minor mole, and that's fine. There's nothing up here other than the ranger. I really want the harbor. We lost our shipwright a long time ago, so. Okay, so we've got the twig barge. Now we need the fairy ferret to come out. But before we move any further, I will invite the barge toad out for free. Gain 2 for each farm in your city. Oh no, I gave up my farm. So, okay, so this is another 2 wood for me. I've got wood for days now. Alright, so this will replace. And it's another barge toad. 3, so he gets the mine. And we replace post office. I need the postal pigeon. So that might be worth grabbing. The post office is nice if you have at least 3 cards in your hand. Okay. Alright, so I'm done with that. I'm pretty sure I've got what it takes to build the palace, so I think this is next. I've yet to even put a worker out, which is awesome. Okay, so 2 wood, 3 resin, 3 stone. So I think I have exactly that. 3 stone, 3 resin, and 2 wood. Okay. I made sure when I activated Stubblehoof that that's what I was able to fulfill those 2 cards. Okay. So that's not getting me anything right now. That's all end-game scoring. So he's taking the harbor. And there's the queen. Okay, I need to count my cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm allowed 5 more cards in my setup here, and I'm about to add 11. Whew. Okay. So he's done his thing. So we're going to play a card worth up to 3 for free. Ooh, so I can go here and get the ranger for
free. Okay, so I'm going to play the queen to the palace for free. That's going to bring out, ooh, the wife. Okay. Interesting. Okay, 4, 1, 2, 3. No, he took the ranger from me. That's fine. I didn't have the courthouse anyways. General store. No. Woodcarver. Okay, so those two guys go together. All right. So, we have built a lot of stuff here. I think I'm ready to slow down and do one thing first so I don't forget about it. We're going to go up here and we are going to claim Fairy and Husband. So the romantic cruise. When achieved, you may search through the deck for a wife card and play it for free or gain 5 money. Ooh. So what's this going to get me? He's going to get me the wife. No, she's getting me 5. Just so, yeah, I want the wife because then I get bonus points for the thing. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this one. I know that's kind of cheating, but I really didn't want to have to pull the whole thing out of there. All right, so I played the wife for free. I don't think that counts against Rugwort getting a card because it was like a bonus action. I could be wrong about that, but I think I'm going to get that card for free. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards. Yeah, 12 cards in my tableau. Okay. Yeah. A lot going on. Okay. So I got that. That's the only one I can claim right now. I don't think I can claim any of these things up here yet, but we'll get there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy allows me to go there and get a whole bunch of resources. Okay. So I think it is time to spend my key to the city. So I've spent that. I'm going to give up one of my 2 pearls, my precious pearls, and I get to gain 2 resources of my choice, which I really don't know what I need because I don't need to build any of these cards in my hand, and nothing out here is what I need. I guess I will take 2 stones, probably the hardest thing to come by, but berries are also going to be hard to come by, so let's take, no, because I need stone up there. I can always get some more berries for my farmers. Okay, so I get 2 resources and then I get to draw a card for every construction in my city, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So way more than I need here. So I'm going to actually discard down for 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll keep, yeah, it really doesn't matter. I can draw up to my hand limit. So there. I mean, I don't need any of these cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The Wanderer with the Lookout. Don't need. Do I need that? No. Theater, Bard, nope. School, Teacher, nope. Monastery, Monk, nope. Bridge, already have one. And Minor Mole. So I don't need any of these. So I have 8 cards. But I have nothing to do with here. Alright. Okay. So let's start putting out some resources here. Let's send our toad first. Can go here now, finally.
get to claim another pearl back. And what are we gonna get to do here? Okay, reveal and discard 2 from your hand to gain 1 and 1. Oh, okay. Do I have one of those? Do I have 2 of those in my hand? I do. Perfect. I have exactly 2. There are 2 right there. 2 from my hand to gain a victory point. And another pearl. That is perfect. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be able to get at least 1 more pearl, so I can go after the Starfall's Flame, possibly. Okay. All right. So now I can go to. I'm gonna send the big King Rune to the palace here. So I've spent him. We'll come and put him up there, like that. There, now you can see him. Okay, so he has been activated. I get to gain 4 resources of my choice. Now, knowing that I am going to try and get the Starfall's Flame here, I need 1 more stone, 3 more resin. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's my 4 resources. I've got plenty of wood. I've got plenty of cards. I've got the pearls, so I've got everything I need. Perfect. Okay. So, what are we gonna do here? Yeah, because those 2 are the same as that one. All right. So for my final action, since I really don't have anything else to play out of my hand, I will send a critter here. I should have just saved all that stuff to pay 3 wood, 3 resin, 3 stone, and 3 pearls to gain this big sucker right here. Da, 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 da. All right. So we got that guy now. And now we have spent all of our workers. So it is time to activate another season here. Okay. So let's bring all of our workers back. He is going to stay put. This guy gets moved to the 3 spot. This guy comes back. He is going to move down here. This guy goes, I think, to that one. Got all of my instruction manuals open to this solo one. During the autumn, worker moves to the 1 berry and 1 card location. Yes. Okay, so he's staying put. I get these 2 meeples added, and these 2 go blocking here and here. Alright, so let's go ahead and activate Stubblehoof here. Let's not forget, so I get a resource of my choice and a card for free. Okay. The dungeon, that's what we needed for the ranger, but we lost the ranger. Okay, and then I can activate that. So that's 1, 2, 3. I don't need these 3 cards. I can discard up to 3 and gain, I guess, 1, 2, and we'll gain this, so we gain extra wood, just because we can spend it. Okay, so we've done Stubblehoof's thing. We've brought everybody back. I get to activate my green powers. So that's 4 more wood. And then a resource of my choice and a berry. Okay, so I will take a resource of my choice, a berry, and 4 more wood. Lots of wood. Okay. All right. so we are good. We have done everything there is to prepare for the next season. Let's move to Spirecrest. Okay, so we are continuing on our adventure here. I forgot to flip these over last time. So 2 cards in any one resource or 5 cards. Now, the trick is that, am I going to be able to do some card drawing? Because I have to give up a card here. How many cards do I have in my hand? 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many places can I go that are going to give me card draw? I could go to that location up there. Oh, I get to get this guy back. I just saw him peeking up there. This one's just tough because I'm not sure if I'm going to have 3 additional cards. I usually have 3 now that I'm going to be able to discard. I'm going to take this one just to be safe. And then we'll go over here. Alright. So I gave him one there. We are going to be dealing with wildfire. Immediately place one of your workers here permanently. Oh no. So does Rugwort have to deal with that? That's interesting. Alright, and then let's look at what our options are here. We've got Sunblaze City. 6 minus 1. I have 2, I believe, exactly in my city. Now, 1, 2, 3 in my city. So this would only be worth 3 points. But it's a free 3 points. But I'm giving him 3 points. Discard. Oh no, we already saw this one. It's this one I need. Bellsong City. 3, 1 for each card in the color that you have the least of in your city. Okay, well, that's getting better. And then Mistrise, -1 for each of those in your city, which I have 1, 2 of. So this one's 4 and only giving him 2. This one is at least 4. So I think we're going to go Bellsong City here. This one I think is just going to give me the most VP at the end of the game. So he's going to get 2. Do a little change. I have to give up a resource. That will be wood, obviously. And then we're done with these. Alright, and so that is all there is for Spirecrest. Technically this guy walks off the board into oblivion. But we'll just put him right there. Oh no, he goes right here. Alright, we are ready to play our final round of the game. Okay, so I want to make sure that I can accomplish my expeditions. And I have done that. I have enough resources right now and enough cards to accomplish what is in my expedition. So if everything ended right now, I would be fine to do that. I only have 1 extra card. To go here, so I don't have enough certainly to spend, so I can maybe gain some more cards to be able to go here. And these guys, I just haven't seen what I need. I can obviously go to one of these various locations and get a pearl, but I can only get 1, and each of these monuments costs at least 2, these 2 on the end here. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is go get a pearl, activate my 2nd adornment, and then, yeah, just go for there. Activating my 2nd adornment is going to allow me to go through some cards, and maybe one of these will pop up, and I'll be able to gather enough resources quickly and use one of my remaining 3 workers. So let's start there. I think the easiest thing for me to do is go up here to the watermill. It's pay a coin, which I have, and pay a wood, which I have lots of, to be able to draw 2 cards and gain a pearl. So 1, 2, and gain a pearl. Alright, if nothing else, that's 2 points at the end, but I'm pretty sure I'm about to use it. Nope, clock tower I don't need, and the inn. I don't need play critter or construction from the meadow for 3 fewer. Now this isn't bad. Okay. So let's see here. Alright, since I have my pearl, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is purchase my compass adornment. So this is my second adornment. This is the only other one I'm going to do. And it allows me to reactivate 2 of these Wanderer Journeyman symbols, which I actually have exactly 2 of them. So I will be activating the Pirate and the Messenger here. The Messenger simply allows me to get my coin back and draw 1 more card. Alright, and then the Pirate allows me to discard up to 4 cards and reveal an equal amount back. If I get 7 or more, I will actually gain a pearl. Unfortunately, I just spent my other pearl. So, let's see, I may do those 2. The rest of these I don't need, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure, we'll just pick these 4. No, let's do this one. 4. Okay, and I get to take 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll count them up one at a time here. So let's take a look. The Monk for 0 again. Got that last time. The Innkeeper for 1. We're not off to a great start here. The Postal Pigeon, which we need, but we don't have the Doctor. And the Monastery. So not even close to getting to 7. So, and again, just more cards I don't need. So what I really need is the Fairy Ferret, because I have the Twin Barge. The other ones I'm not even close to getting. So, okay. So what else can we do? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I have 7 cards. I need 3 for my expedition, so I could go here. Discard 4 cards. Discard 2 meadow cards and replenish. Then draw 2 meadow cards. Also gain 1 any resource. That's not a bad little spot to go. So let's do this. I'm really just gonna last ditch effort here. Alright, so I'm gonna go there. I have to give up 4 cards. 1, 2, 3. I'll hold on to this just in case. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so there's our 4 cards we had to give up to go there. Then I guess what we'll do here is go here. So I'm going to discard 2 cards, 2 meadow cards. I don't need this, and I really, actually we'll do these 2 because these 2 are worth the most points for Rugwort. So replenish, the Lookout, and the Judge in the Courthouse. Oops. Okay. So still not seeing what I need. Oh. This is the post office. I have the Postal Pigeon, but I don't have the Doctor. Okay. Alright, so I'm really just kind of running out of things here. I guess I will just try and go someplace I can get victory points for. Yeah. Let's go here. Last ditch effort. I will be able to get 1 coin and draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Alright, we got the Fool and the Resin Refinery. Again, neither one of which we need. So let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4 berries. 1, 2, 3, 4 berries. Just 1 stone. I actually have 2. 1 resin. I've got 1 resin. 1 wood. I've got 1 wood. And yep, and you got 1 other resource and 3 total cards. Okay, and at this point I don't have anything in my hand that is going to give me points. See, like this is -2. I would technically give that to my Rugwort, but Rugwort's going to get, I think, like 2 or 3 points per card, and none of my cards beat that. So me playing a card is simply going to give him more points at the end of the day. Yeah, there's really no place else I can go. I cannot cheat on the monuments. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, discard 2 cards, and send Bighorn right there. Okay. So, we'll just do this. It'll help us keep track of everything. All right. So, I have essentially finished. Let's just, so everybody can see how it works here. At this point now, before you start your scoring, you go on your expedition. So I would have to discard 3 berries, and then a berry, a twig, a resin, a stone, and a card. So I put all of this stuff back. Boom. Boom, boom. And so at this point I've gone here, and then I have to discard 2 cards and any 1 resource. Boom, to finally make it here. Rugwort, on the other hand, will also traverse automatically across his. Since he doesn't collect resources, he just automatically gets to cross it. So he acquired 10 points from his expedition, I acquired 13. So at the end of the day, we did pretty good. All right, let's count up Rugwort's score. Now, we are just playing with year 1 rules. So he's going to score 2 points per card in his city, 3 points if it's a purple. 3 points for each basic event he achieved, which he didn't. We're not playing with basic events. 3 points for each special event you did not achieve, and 3 points for his worker on the journey space. So I don't think he acquired any purple locations. Let me just double check. He did not. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is 33. What he's also going to do is he's going to spend his pearls to simply gain the monuments that are equal to the pearls. And if he has excess, he'll just keep spending. So he can purchase the Sunblaze Bridge. So he purchases the Sunblaze Bridge, which was 3 pearls. So he turns in his 3 pearls, and that's it. That's all he can do. And so now he's up to 53. He's got 7 coins here, so we're up to 60. He's getting 3 points here, so he's up to 63. And then another 10 is 73. And then, so he's getting up there. And then 1, 2, 3, unfortunately, 9 more points, 82. All right. So Rugwort got to 82 total points. Let's see what we were able to accomplish. Okay. So let's start with just the cards in our city, just like we did with Rugwort here. So we are 1, 2, 3. I'm completely not counting correctly. 1 and 3, 4. And this is 5 total, so 9. Here we have, okay, 13, 17, 0, 19, and 20. So I believe he had 22. No, he had 33. So we are already behind. Oh, I found 2 more here. 20, 19, 20, and now we have 22. Okay. All right. We're getting 32, 35. All right, with this. Okay, we're not getting anything for that anymore. So here we have 1 point for each of those in the city, which we have 2. So that's going to give us 34. And here is 1 point for every 2 constructions. So we're at 34. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 37 points. I have 2 points right here in my hand. So we're now up to 39, 41, 45. Okay, he had 82, right? Alright, so I'm up to 45. This is giving me 48 plus, I think that's just going to be a 1. Because I think I just have 1 blue card and also 1 purple card. So do I even have 1 blue card? Yes, just 1 blue card. So 48, 49. My critters don't earn me anything at this point. And I believe the only thing left for me to score is this guy. So this would get me 69, 74. So I believe Rugwort got me. Let me just double check, make sure I don't get anything for prosperity card bonus points. Oh, hold on. Events, no. Point tokens. I do have a couple here that are going to earn me a couple extra points. So I'm getting a point per unique construction. So no, no, no. But there's, what did I say I was at? 74. But this is 75, 76, 77. That's it. So 77 to 82, so very close. If I had been able to take out 1 more of those things, that possibly could have done it, because each one of these was offering endgame points. So I could have, say I got this one, would have gotten to 80, and he would have gotten to 79. So this is really what it came down to. And this is my only gripe about the solo game, is that Rugwort benefits from you sometimes just not seeing cards. And, you know, I have cataloged my struggles against Rugwort. I have posted videos of me playing him on year 1, 2, and 3. And the only way I've been successful in year 3 is to basically mill through half the deck, which is pretty tough in a solo game. So, but there you have it. There was Everdell with the Spirecrest and Pearlbrook expansion. This was all done in celebration of the last 2 expansions for Everdell that are currently on Kickstarter, so go check them out. I'll put a link for that in the description below. Newleaf and Mistwood that we spoke about at the beginning of the video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.